budget fam, welcome to the Anonymous Budgeter. If this is your first time here, welcome and thank you for watching this video. And if you are a returning subby, thank you for coming by again. I really do appreciate it. Here on my channel, I'm documenting my debt payoff journey towards paying off over $160,000 in student loans. I'm also sharing a lot about my personal finance, my financial goals, and my road to financial independence and peace. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, please stay tuned and consider subscribing to the channel and turning on your notifications. But today's video is going to be a quick recap of week 4 for the month of April. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of reconcile everything and make sure all the numbers look good because we're starting a new week today and we also have to prepare for May, which is coming up pretty soon. So let's get right into the video. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I just removed my spending tracker for the week of April 21st to the 27th, which is week 4, and we don't have a whole lot going on, which is always a good thing. So I'm just gonna go through and let you guys know how I did and what expenses came out, so we can just do that together because I already did the highlighter method to kind of just categorize all the spending and the transactions. Okay, so the week started on the 21st, but I didn't have any spending on that day, which is always nice when you have a no spend day. On the 22nd, however, I did go to take off my passport photos, and passport photos are pretty expensive, but I spent about $18.18 at Walgreens. This is where I first went to take off my pictures. However, the pictures were a little bit dark, but you know, I can't blame them for that because they can only do so much with the camera that corporate gives them. So I went over to CVS, so they're right across from each other, and I was able to get the pictures, and it was better lighting. It was, you know, had a white background and everything, so it was pretty good. And then I ended up just spending $36.36 for that, which was unbudgeted, so I have to pull that amount from somewhere in my budget. So if I don't have enough like room in the budget, let's say for example, if I didn't really underspend in certain categories, I may just have to pull that from like my little savings buffer that I have. I also had an ATM withdrawal for my cash envelopes, which was $386. So that was in different categories. I believe I had my 52-week savings challenge, my FPL, and I think maybe 2 other categories. So yeah, so that was that amount. And on the 23rd, I went to Aldi, so I just did a little bit of top up, or I think the next day I went to Aldi's to do a little top up, or I think it was the same day, but this didn't, the charge did not post until the next day. And I also got gas because usually when I do my Aldi's run, I go to the Murphy's, which is right across the street, and I went ahead and filled up my tank. And then on the 25th, I had a bill from my Google storage. I always forget that I have extra storage from my Google photos and things, so that was about $20. And then I also gassed up again a couple days later, which was $20.29. Gas has definitely gone up. I think I gassed up on Saturday and gas is almost like $3.50, so it's definitely going up, which is kind of crazy. And then I went to get my mom's prescription at Walmart, and that was a $4, so that was like unexpected. So I'll probably just take that for my eating out because I think I have like $5 left over for the month, so I'll just, you know, put that $5 back for that $4. So yeah, and that was basically the spending that I had for week number 4, which was pretty good, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Oh, I actually had additional spending, but that was on my credit card, so I'll show that afterwards because the credit card spending, this is just for like debit card, so I should probably put debit on here. So yes, so when I do my budget and my check-ins, I do separate my credit card charges from my debit card just because it's a lot easier for me to do that. I get really confused when I try to mix them together, and when I do my charges, most of my things come out of my debit card anyways, and I'm still working on trying to streamline, you know, like where my charges come out. I know like some people, well, not a lot of people, but some people have multiple cards, but for me, I just try to keep it very simple, and when I have too many different cards and too many different things going on, it just gets super confusing and convoluted. So I try to keep it simple. You know, it's like that KISS method: keep it simple, stupid. And that's me. So I just have one card and I just stick to debit. And so all the charges that I have from my debit card, I just keep it like that. I'm just only trying to track just the spending portion of it. So we're gonna add up all of these charges. So from this expenses, when I added everything up, I got $530.78 for my total spending. And in regards to what I have left over, the remaining balance, because I didn't have any deposits or I don't have anything, you know, taken off from credit cards or whatever, it's pretty simple. It's just my starting balance, which is $1,068.69. And I'm going to subtract that from $530.78, and I should have, after all the calculations from the starting balance and I subtracted my spending total from my starting balance, I have a total of $537.91 remaining. So this is how my week 4 ended. And if we go on to this other tracker, which is my credit card tracker, I just use that one for like the complete month. I don't break it down into weekly spending tracking because I rarely use my credit card. I typically just use it just to pay my cell phone bill, and then maybe some other minor charges may come out from there, but nothing too crazy. So this month I had a PayPal charge come out, and I always forget about this charge. So I have like a VPN subscription which is called Surfshark. I pay $59.76, but I haven't been using it lately, so I wanted to cancel it, and I tried to get in contact with them, but you have to email or like do a live chat, which is really annoying. So hopefully I don't have to like dispute it with my bank, because I genuinely don't use it, and I find that for me, where I live, the connection is not stable. And also too, when I use that VPN, like I remember last year when I was trying to use it to like go on Ticketmaster, I couldn't use it, and like some other websites for work as well kind of know that you use a VPN, so it's like you can't really use it there. Yeah, it's really hard to access certain website with those VPNs, so I rarely use it, to be honest. And then I bought a budgeting template online from one of my like favorite accounts on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Their handle on YouTube is Live Without Loans. I'll link their channel below, and I'll link I think they have like an online store where you can get their budgeting templates, which is really simple. It's really good if you're just starting off, because you won't get like overwhelmed with all the crazy formulas and everything. The only thing is it doesn't have any formulas in there, but it's really simple to add the formula on. So you just have to just add in, which is pretty simple. So yeah, if you're starting off, definitely consider looking at their products. So yeah, just a shout out to them, and their channel is super awesome. I love it. So yeah, so this is basically what I'm working with in regards to my credit card charges, just these two, and that's about it. And so this is just going to be that's like the last week, which is nothing. Just my credit card payment for my Surfshark charge, and that's about it. So now that we've done the spending tracker for week number 4, I'm going to go over and do the weekly check-in. So in regards to the weekly check-in, we're going to do the weekly check-in for week number 4. So for week number 4, I had 0 deposits, which, you know, I wish I had additional income coming in, but we thank God for what we've had so far. It's been a pretty good month, although most of it has like kind of come from just income, and also too when I did my cash stuffing from my previous cash envelopes. But we have no additional deposits for this month. Bills, we only had that charge of $19.99 from the Google storage. Groceries this week was also pretty low, which was $32.32. Now, if you're wondering why my groceries for the week is super low, and it has been pretty low, just a little background about me. I am an millennial boomer, which I like to call myself. And so I'm like in my late 30s, and I moved back home. I used to live on my own, but I moved back home just because I'm focusing on paying back my student loans. I am a single income. I don't have any kids, so I don't, work on dual income or anything like that, and I don't have any kids, so just solely me, myself, and I. And so moving back home was a pretty good way for me to kind of like, just control all the variables that come with like renting and other bills and all that type of thing. And also too, moving back home saves a lot, because when you're with, well, depending on your situation, but in my situation, it's a lot easier for me in terms of like spending in groceries. Now keep in mind, if you're not disciplined, or if you're around people who kind of are just like, well, you have a lot of discretionary income, it's just you don't have any kids, then it can be hard. But for me, my parents understand my journey, and so like it was never an issue coming back home. I just pay my share of kind of like my rent, I guess, because I would never stay with them and live rent free. And also, if you follow me and you see my rent super cheap for where I live, because I basically live in a high cost area, so yeah, that's why it's like super manageable. And then I'm able to throw a lot more of my income towards debt, which is what I'm mainly focusing on. So anything extra additional that I have to do would come out from the money that I would have taken to pay off my debt, because I only have one income. I don't have like side hustles or anything like that. So I'm just showing you kind of like a real life, real person with like no side hustles or no extra income or anything like that, and just trying to pay off their student loans in like less than 4 years. So it's probably gonna take me roughly like 3.5 to 4 years. So yeah, so that's basically a little rundown about my financial situation, in case anybody was wondering. So for gas, I did spend $52.11, which is less than last week, so that's always pretty good. I try to budget about $60 to $65 for the week, so I'm always hoping that I come under that, so I'm really happy that I did. And then for SunPass, nothing came out this week. I think I have like about $20 left in my SunPass account. I think the money withdraws when it goes under like $12 or so, like $13, something somewhere around there. Which I'm really surprised, because I thought I would have a withdrawal in week 4, but maybe it'll come out next week. I don't know. And then personal, I had no personal spending. I didn't eat out this week, and that's another really good thing about living back at home. I'm lucky enough to have a mom who absolutely loves to cook, and like we're from the Caribbean, so like the food is always like 10 out of 10. And so there's really always food at home. So it doesn't, I'm always just like, oh, I have food at home. Like there's really no reason for me to go out and eat. And so yeah, so I definitely just prefer eating at home versus eating out. Now if I have to go out with friends, then I'll definitely plan for that, but for right now, no eating out. And then for shopping, I have a total of $3.50. And then work food, nothing's coming out of that because we had no deposits. There's no savings coming out. In terms of savings, because I am focusing on paying off debt, I am just doing the bare minimum when it comes to like savings and investing. So I do have an emergency fund. I have probably a lot of money in mind for emergency fund, maybe even too much. But just for my peace of mind, because personal finance is super personal, like I'm just comfortable with that number. I also have various sinking funds that I prioritize, like for example travel, because I know I'm traveling to New York in like a few months, so I wanted to make sure I have cash for that, because I'm not going to be using my credit card. I also have a sinking fund for car maintenance, because my car is fully paid off, but she is almost 10 years old. I think this the end of the year, this December, she might be 10 years. So yeah, so I always want to make sure I have a minimum of like $2,500 in that account, just because I want to make sure that my tires are checked, my oil is changed, and all of that good stuff. So there's some categories and sinking funds that I prioritize, and I make sure those are like fully funded and they don't go below a certain amount. I also have like a gifts fund, because even if you're paying off debt, you never know. People may have kids, you may get invited to like a wedding or a baby shower, your parents have birthdays, your kids have birthdays, and I feel, for me personally, even though I'm on this journey of paying off debt, I still want to celebrate my friends and families within reason. Like, I'm not gonna buy something for like $500 for an individual, or even myself. I'll sacrifice and probably do something a little more cheaper and reasonable within my budget. So I definitely budgeted for that. And so I don't have savings, but I do contribute to my company's 401k, the match. I recently redid our health benefits open, so I basically just still have the same plan. So that means that I still am contributing to my HSA account. I was gonna not do it, but I didn't really like the basic plan that they had, so I chose the plan with an HSA. And so that also too is kind of like a vehicle for investing for me, I guess. So, and also too, I actually do use my HSA card, because when I get my, prescription glasses and sunglasses, and if I have to go visit the dentist, which I know is probably gonna be an arm and a leg, so I like knowing that I have that type of buffer here for any medical expenses, which is always nice. And I have a high deductible on my medical plan anyway, so it's really good to have that just in case. And so yeah, I have nothing in savings. All that to say, savings is zero this month. And I just wanted to say that I have paused all investing. So I used to invest in my Roth IRA and my Fidelity brokerage account, and I don't do that because I'm focusing on paying off debt. And once I've paid off my debt, it's going hard on the investing and all that. So I'm sacrificing just for a couple of years, and then I'll get back on track. And in terms of my debt, I did not pay anything towards my debt for this week, because the previous week I threw everything at it. So I think for the rest of the month, we're pretty good. For miscellaneous expenses, my miscellaneous expenses, I'm going to have from both my debit and my credit card, because this is like a miscellaneous expense, to be honest. It's sort of a bill, but it's not really. So I'm gonna take it out and actually put it as miscellaneous, just because I'm gonna get rid of this, and it's really not a bill, because I didn't even think I was gonna have that charge. So if I add up all of these, my little miscellaneous credit card expense, which was $79.76. Just make sure. Yeah, sorry, $59.76. And then I also had a miscellaneous charge for my passport photos, because that was not budgeted. And then I also had $4, so that's $112. So for my miscellaneous expenses, I had $112, and then no tithes came out today, and then nothing, for that week, and then there's no cash envelope charges. So in regards to my week 4, it's not looking too bad. I had a lot of categories that I did not spend in. It wasn't like a heavy week, so yay for more weeks like this. I hope that week 5 we can continue that momentum, but week 5 is going to be really short for the month of April. It's literally just going to be like wait, let me see. Yeah, it's just going to be like 28, 29, and the 30th, so like literally 3 days. Just because when I budget from the 1st to the last day of the month, so some weeks are pretty short, and it doesn't always have to be like a 7-day or like 5 to 7 day week. So that's how the week fell. And then that's it for my weekly check-in. So I'm gonna put here for week 4, the credit card charges that I had, which I guess is in this one. So my credit card charges for week 2, I had my miscellaneous was $59. I just like writing it down. Because it keeps me on track to know kind of like what I spent, and in terms of my credit card spending. So yeah, guys, that's basically it in regards to my weekly check-in. Just to do a quick overview, I feel like there's no category where I had like a major overspend. In regards to my groceries, I needed to be under $58 every week, and so far, except for week 1, I have been hitting my goal. I didn't even spend anything in week 3, which is crazy. And then for gas, I typically like to be between $60 $65, so having $52 for the week is really good. I had like no charges for SunPass, nothing came out for personal. Eating out, when it's nothing, it's always a win, so I'm super proud of that. And then shopping is only $3.50, and then nothing for work, food savings, or my debts, and then just that miscellaneous expenses that I had for my passport photos, that crazy charge that came out, and that's about it, guys. And then the Walmart charge for my mom's prescription, which she never gives me money when I go to pick up her medications, and even if she did, I would never take it, so that's perfectly fine. So yeah, so not really bad for a week number 4. I'll definitely take it. I feel like that was B. If I had to grade myself, that was definitely a B week. Yeah, probably B plus, but definitely a strong B, strong solid B. And so I'm super excited and happy that, you know, we're making traction. And yeah, so this is the end of my week number 4 check-in for the month of April. So let me know how you guys are doing. How has April been for you guys so far? Hopefully you guys are kind of doing really good financially. For me, I think so far my big win has been putting like over $6,000 towards my student loan, so I'm so grateful and so happy about that. It's been such a long journey for me. Like, I've had my student loan since like 2017, because I graduated in 2017, so my full student loan has been with me since 2017, you guys, and I'm only really now just kind of like fully just focusing on it and not focusing on anything else. So I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making. So I feel like that's a win I always have to kind of remind myself. So if you guys are in a similar, you know, kind of like journey, paying off debt, no matter where you're, if you're just starting, if you're in the middle of it or towards the end, congratulations, because you are doing fantastic. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.